All right, so you're looking to move to Southeast Michigan and you're wondering, hey, what are some of the top employers here in Southeast Michigan and who are some of the best paying employers here in Michigan? What we're going to do is we're going to break down and look into some of those major employers here in Michigan, and I hope you stay to the end because I got a little surprise for you as well. Now let's get after it. Hey, welcome to the channel. Welcome back to the channel. This is Travis Juntti with the Southeast Michigan team. Now, hey, I appreciate you watching my videos. Like I said, I am not the best YouTube video maker, but I enjoy making these videos. I enjoy helping you guys out. I would appreciate if you hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, and make sure you hit that little notification bell to make sure you get notified anytime we put out new content. And look, you can reach me days, nights, and weekends. You can reach me by text, call, email, whatever that is, whatever is best for you. I'm just here to help you out. Now let's get right back to the top employers in Southeast Michigan. All right, well, it should come as to no surprise that when you're thinking Southeast Michigan, you're thinking Detroit, the Motor City. I mean, you're thinking the Detroit Red Wings with the winged wheel, or the Detroit Pistons. Pistons are in the name, right? That's about automobiles. The top three employers in Southeast Michigan, right, is Ford, GM, and, well, now formerly FCA, but it's Stellantis. Those are the big three when we're talking about, top high-paying employers in Michigan. What I want to do here, I want to jump on the computer and really kind of help you understand, more or less show you the list and show you the amount of employers that are with each of these positions. And I'm also going to show you kind of what Southeast Michigan looks like, kind of show you on a map where some of these places are, where maybe some of the headquarters are, so you kind of have an idea of where some of these major employers are. All right, so let's take a look at the map here real quick. See, obviously Detroit, you got Southeast Michigan. Now for this, we're talking, like I said, Southeast Michigan. I mean, this is kind of coming right up over here around Lake St. Clair, Southeast Michigan, Fenton. It really stops down in Fowlerville here. We'll go down towards Saline and down towards the south side of Romulus. That's kind of where the airport is over here. You got Detroit. That's the main hub of Southeast Michigan. So that kind of gives you a quick idea of what we're talking about when we're talking about Southeast Michigan. Now we talked about the top three employers. We got Ford Motor Company. You got Stellantis. It looks like I had my order mixed up. And this is based on full-time employees in Southeast Michigan for July of 2022. This is from the Detroit Regional Chamber. Now Ford Motor Company, Stellantis, and General Motors Company. All of these big three, they have, I mean, this is kind of their headquarters city, right? You have one in Dearborn, one in Auburn Hills, and another in Detroit. That's kind of the headquarters of those facilities. But keep in mind, these places have, tech centers and proving grounds and different plants all across Southeast Michigan. So, I mean, depending on the position of what you're looking at, you could be many different locales across Southeast Michigan. That's why I talked about it in another video. It is really important to make sure that you secure your employment before you think about really diving into where you want to live when moving to Southeast Michigan. But hey, that's why you got to reach out to this guy. I'm here to help you out, but I can't do it without you reaching out to me. We are living in Southeast Michigan. Travis Juntti, the #1 relocation team in Southeast Michigan. All right, I promised I would go into the map here, kind of show you a little bit. So if we're talking, Ford Motor Company, you got Dearborn right here, as you mentioned. Dearborn, you got the Henry Ford Museum over here. This is kind of the main hub. If we're type in, I gotta bring it the pointer guy. We'll type in Ford Motor Company, World Headquarters. Right here, smack dab in Dearborn. This kind of gives you an idea of what we're talking about. You got World Center for Henry Ford, or for the Ford. But there's all kinds of different plants. I mean, if I type in, let's see here, we'll talk about Ford. Well, that's kind of hard. Ford plant, it's these plants are going to be all over the place. I mean, it's really hard to give you a gauge on that. But these different plants are all over the place across Southeast Michigan, so that doesn't really give you a good gauge. But like I said, I mean, you got variety of places across Southeast Michigan is where you're going to find all these different little plants. And obviously they do have some remote positions as well. So really depending on if you're in an engineering role or a different business type related role, you might have the option for more of a remote work. Obviously with the plant job, if you're working in one of the plants, you want to be closer to that location. But there's many different plants throughout Southeast Michigan. I mean, we'll talk about, you got General Motors. They certainly have many different plants. I mean, you got these different assemblies. You talk about this assembly up here north of Auburn Hills in Orion. You get the General Motors Proving Grounds, which is over towards my neck of the woods. Slow this down a little bit, but this is the Proving Grounds. This is where you have all these different buildings. There's about 5,500 employees at the Proving Grounds itself. And this is right on the border of Livingston County. Livingston County border is kind of right. It's kind of right over here. That's, like I said, that's where I live. That's where I have my heart. That's where I have my soul. I'm gonna, always love that place. But this is, if you're looking in, you can really live anywhere in Southeast Michigan, working for a lot of these different companies. But that's the Proving Grounds there. But as far as, but Auburn Hills, Stellantis, their office is up in their world headquarters is up in Auburn Hills, which is on the north side of the metro. Right here. And this is just north. I mean, this is easy access to a lot of different places. You got Highway 59 that runs east and west here. You got 75 that runs into the city and then out into kind of more rural area if you decided to want to live around more rural areas. But Stellantis, that's their world headquarters there. And really next on the list you have the University of Michigan. And when we're talking University of Michigan, we're talking not only just the campus, but we're also talking about the hospital system. You have the hospital system. So if we're going to scroll out here a little bit, I'm going to go back on this map. Now here's Ann Arbor here. Southeast Michigan. Obviously you can kind of look at the gray area. That's kind of Southeast Michigan, at least as far as the metro area. And the University of Michigan Hospital, and a lot of that stuff's going to be in this northeast corner of Ann Arbor. Now the majority of these other employers, you have kind of lump these in, right? You have Corewell Health, which is a combination of Spectrum and Beaumont Health that combined. I think it was just a couple of years ago they had combined forces, so that made their full-time employees up over 20,000 employees. You have the U.S. government, which is obviously just based out of Detroit. The Henry Ford Health System, that's a very large employer, and that's in the city of Detroit. Most of their stuff is based within the city of Detroit there. Rocket companies, I'm sure you've heard of Rocket Mortgage or Quicken Loans. That's, they've done a lot of good things for the city of Detroit, Rocket Mortgage. They've done a lot of development, a lot of, they spent a lot of money in the city of Detroit, so they've been really helpful for our city as well. Rocket Mortgage, I'm just going to show you here real quick. Rocket Mortgage, maybe it's the Quicken Loans. I believe that's Woodward. It's right on Woodward, I believe, is their main office. You can correct me if I'm wrong, but yeah, there's their corporate center in downtown Detroit. And there's, like I said, this downtown Detroit has come a long ways. There's a lot of beautiful areas down here in downtown Detroit. If you wanted to kind of hang your hat down here, there's a lot of different different condo living, lots of upscale houses that are down there, down in all the little different areas around Detroit. So that's certainly a major employer there. And coming down, Trinity Health, that's another one. They have their corporate offices are in Livonia, but that's a big hospital chain. And again, like on the bottom, number 10, Ascension, Michigan. That's another hospital system. So if you're in the engineering field or if you're in the medical field, there's lots of good opportunities here, and that obviously goes beyond. There's all kinds of different positions, wherever you're looking, but those are some of the major employees. Like I said, lots of big hospitals here, several big universities, not only the University of Michigan, but we also have, Wayne State University, you got Eastern Michigan University, and several community colleges throughout Southeast Michigan. And I'm sorry, I'm probably forgetting a couple other, major universities in that general area, but those are some of the big three that I was thinking about. So if you're talking, in the education field, you're in the hospital field, you're in the engineering field, those are some of the top 10 companies that we have here in Southeast Michigan. And now we talked about having even a little surprise at the end. So like I said, there's a lot of these companies. There's the big three. You got Stellantis, you got GM, you got Ford. What you don't think about sometimes is all these different suppliers that are involved in the automotive industry. I mean, so all these different tier 1, tier 2, tier 3 suppliers, all these companies that have all these massive contracts with all these different companies. These big three companies. So I mean, we're talking all kinds of different sales positions, sales engineers. We have all the SaaS companies, like the software as a service companies, right? All these companies that are trying to streamline the manufacturing for all these different major manufacturers, and all these companies that are trying to help out these different tier 1, tier 2, tier 3 suppliers to GM, to Ford, to Stellantis. And don't forget, there's Nissan, there's Toyota, there's all these different all this different automotive stuff going on within Southeast Michigan. There's the self-driving vehicles. There's all kinds of different stuff going on. So I mean, there's major employment here in Southeast Michigan. So there's all kinds of different high-paying positions that you can find within Southeast Michigan. Now, I hope this really gives you some hope, gives you an idea of what we have here in Southeast Michigan. And I'll tell you one thing I'm not going to do is I can't line you up with a position. I can't send you where you could work. What I can do and what I love to do and what I'm awesome at is helping you find a place once you know where it is that you're working, where it is you want to be. Do you have a large family, which I specialize in, and you want to have a house out in the country? I love more than anything to make your dreams come true. Find that place that you love. Now, I don't know if maybe you're looking for that city life. You want to live in the city. You want to live in a high-rise condo. I'd certainly love doing that as well. Whatever it is that you do, like I said, we'll jump on a Zoom call. We'll go through the map. We'll kind of give you an idea of the commute for some of these different areas, so you understand, okay, how does this work? That's going to make your way of life a lot better. So we can do this research. We can put this time in to make sure that when you come here, you're happy. All you have to do is land that job and make a move here. I can figure out the rest. I can help you with the rest. Now, until the next video, I hope you found a lot of value here. I really appreciate it. I will see you next time.